show Young Dolph arm hanging out the window plus the guys running up. It's not a outside footage where you see the scene of Young Dolph Lane and the guys running up. All you see is Young Dolph car, the white car, Maurice car, and you see the Bentley. And you see the two guys with the Drake shaking them. You don't see the front of the storefront. You don't see the storefront with the picture. In the still shots, you don't see both of them. It's not with the same picture of his arm hanging out the window. Think about it, you guys. They took it from an angle to where you don't know if that happened on that day. Those guys were running, shaking the Drakes a whole totally different day. It was like a movie scene. Like they acted this out because it's no way MPD did it run to their rescue. Like you have to understand, they had to ride past MPD in order to get away from Makedas.
And look, man, y'all forgot one thing too. Raven and everybody at the cookie shop said themselves the night before the whole Young Dolph thing, the day before, that they were so busy that they had to stay super late at the cookie shop. They said they had so many bags of cookies to seal, so many things to prep, that they stayed all like damn near to midnight in that cookie shop. 10, 11 p.m. What was they doing? That's exactly the time that Young Dolph would have been meeting with Yo Gotti cousin. Because look, they could have took him to that Makedas cookie shop that night before. And the fact that Makedas and them saying that they had a really, really late night shift and they opened the store super, super early, that just goes to show you that's key words for them saying that they basically was in the cookie shop overnight. If you stayed late and opened early, you're basically trying to say subconsciously that y'all was there overnight trying to do something with Dolph.
And you gotta pay attention to the back gate. Why did a CMG member have the back gate key? This is the issue. This is the key thing. Why did the opposition have a key to an establishment that's owned by Young Dolph, who's ran by Makedas? Like, y'all gotta look at that. It's no way that this just happened all of a sudden out the blue. No, man, open y'all mind, man. Ain't nobody finna make y'all look at it from this way, that way. No, man, y'all got imagination too, man. Look at the facts. Y'all need to pay attention, man. And it's so hard. It's heartbreaking to see people watching what's really going on and not taking heed to basically the criminals implement themselves in the whole situation. And then they're sitting back laughing at all of the people who can't put two and two
The
together.
cookie shop at like late at night after the Ruth Chris, when they pulled up with the Bentley and they just knocked Dolph out in that parking lot at the Ruth Chris and took the cashier's checks. That's when they brought him to Makedas, because before, at that point, he was still alive. When they brought him into the back of the Makedas in the manager's office, the reason they did that was so that they could wait for him to wake up and so he could give him the combination to the safe. Because it's about 20 more cashier's checks in there for 5 mil each. So y'all got to understand that it's all types of money up in this place. Cashier, you could have more money on cashier's check than cash that you can hold. So everybody's saying, that it's too much money for one person to hold. No, that's not true. That because you're thinking that people have rubber banded up 20s. No, these are cashier's checks, bro. Bosses get money differently than you guys do. So that's the difference. Now basically they waited for him to wake up so that they can get the combination to the safe of Makedas. So he didn't want to give it up. He didn't want to give it up. So they basically said, "Hey, they're gonna fire off rounds if he didn't do it." And they must have had to break into it because he wasn't gonna give it up like that. He already knows what it is. He's not just gonna let them take it easy. He knows that. So Man, but the karma's gonna come back to him because you gotta know that nobody can get away with this. And you gotta know that them folks is in on it. It's one big setup, like a domino effect. And from what Raven said, set off the chain of events to where we find out exactly what happened, and we're gonna make sure that, everybody understands that it was all a setup. Inside job. They played y'all. They played y'all with the pictures of the dudes in the white bands. Most of that stuff was just all for show, all for charades. The real critical parts was what happened after that Ruth Chris and what went on inside that back of that Makedas store. And so at this point they don't want to release the footage. That just goes to show you they should have released the footage. They already released footage of the baby doing what he did. So if they could release footage of the baby doing what he did, then why can't they release the footage of what happened to Makedas and Dolph? At least just the him pulling up. We
Look at that car because he felt no fear with that car. Because whoever was in that car recording him, those are the people who sent the video to TMZ before he died. Before this stuff happened, they sent the video to TMZ. Who has that much power to just email TMZ or directly when you know somebody about to die? Who has that much power besides a person who's connected with you? Your friend, your cousin, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, who was in the car? This the questions that the feds were asking. They said, who was in that car? The person that was in the car was a person that was related to him, that was that close, who he trusted because he looked over the car to make sure when nobody followed him. He looked over the other side of his car. Notice, once the person stepped outside of their car that was recording him, his last moments, notice they did a walk around the car. They did a walkthrough around. Who Young that show you mean tell me they did the walkthrough around first and then Young Dolph came and out the gas station and start pumping the gas, then they hurry up and hop back in their car? No. When did they do the walk around? It had to be somebody he know that can actually take their phone and be like, oh man, yeah, recording him, his car. He wasn't in the second video. Was that video recorded before he came out of the gas station?
Man, y'all gotta understand that people came in contact with him, man. People communicated with him. They let him know what they was about to do. The plans was not just anonymous. They were with people. Like they had this whole thing written out. They called everybody the whole week of that turkey drive, man. Y'all gotta realize everybody all of a sudden wanted to start doing turkey drives too on the PRE side. Like what? Man, these guys just look like they just quickly went to Walmart or something, got a bunch of turkeys in the trunk, and they were still frozen, handing them out. Like that's crazy, man. And y'all got to see that they ain't had no gloves or nothing handing them out too. So it was a quick, sloppy little alibi that everybody tried to do because the things was written out, the plans were right there, the writing was on the wall. They knew what was about to go down, man. It's the 15th, 16th, and the 17th. Those 3 days, man, it was a whole crazy weekend. Like y'all gotta understand that whole weekend, everybody was like stressing. Everybody was, anxious, trying to wait until like that news dropped. Man, y'all gotta understand they were all like, man, just pacing back and forth, looking on their phones. Man, Key Glock was almost deleted. That's why he deleted his Instagram right away, man. Man, y'all gotta realize, man. Key Glock deleted that. He was ready to delete it. He was already deleting certain pictures to take out, with like, for example, he had more pictures of a straight drop, and he had more pictures of him at the cookies at the Makedas, like with all the Trula people and everything from his past life. Like he had all that stuff up. If you would have went back to Key Glock IG from 2013, you would have seen all that, man. Y'all would have seen that, and he was clearing that all out, man. Because if you go now, there's nothing there. So y'all gotta realize that these dudes knew it was about to happen, man. Even the Moochie Grape guy, man. The Moochie Grape guy got his chain taken. He really the one that caused a lot of this beef to boil up, man. And y'all gotta realize this, man.
was beefing with one of the craziest savages out there, OG Bangway, man. This guy's wild and crazy, man. Like, dude's just straight up a menace. So this menace came, snatched his chain. He wanted a chain, so he went and took one from Big Moochie's neck. Big Moochie filed the police report, man. He snitched like crazy, bro. You can't snitch, man. If y'all, this Big Moochie dude rapping about all this street stuff, and he go run to the police. That's the one thing that people can't, like. I can't get my head around that. Like, how are they going to rap about that? But then when you go look at the reality, they're running to the 12.